Hello everyone, it's been a long time. Today we're back with the Fairy Tail Arc Ranking Annual Series? I mean, this is the most consistent it's been since 2020. It's part of the 5 videos of December, the first one in the 2025 group, so here's hoping we can start this festive month off in a strong way. Let's not beat around the bush and instead get right into the ranking. After all, we're now in the top 10, the best of the best arcs in the Fairy Tail series. This is peak, or at least it's supposed to be. So, the 10th best arc in Fairy Tail is the Battle of Fairy Tail arc. This is the 5th arc of the show, the final arc of season 1 of the Fairy Tail anime, and it's pretty good. The premise of this arc is that Loxus is being a little bitch, so he's decided to force all of Fairy Tail into a battle royale to root out the weak and get himself elected as Guildmaster. He gets his minions to petrify all the girls in the guild, then tells everyone else to come and fight him in order to save them. Around the town, there are enchantments set up that force the members to fight each other once they enter it, whittling down the guild until only one member remains, and then he can just beat them, I suppose. The only way Loxus will stop his plan is if he and all of his minions are defeated, or if Makarov surrenders the title of Guildmaster to him. This is an incredibly stupid plan. Okay, Mr. Loxus, you're now Guildmaster. You and your 3 members, because everyone else just left once you took over, seeing as, you took over by force and blackmail and threatened everyone's lives. Everyone else is hanging out in the next town over. They started a new guild, called like Fairy Tile or something. You got your title, big man, and what are you gonna do with it? Absolutely nothing. But, as stupid as the plan was, he had it very well executed. He used Evergreen's broken magic to petrify everyone, he used Freed's broken magic to trap the entire town, as well as take Makarov and the Dragon Slayers out of the Battle Royale, and Bixlow was there for emotional support. Honestly, if Urza hadn't broken free, his plan probably would have worked, and he would have immediately lost the whole guild, but I digress. Oh, and then he just decided to blow up the entire town with the Thunder Palace spell once things went pear-shaped for him. Which means not only is his guild going to abandon him once he takes over, but so are all the people in the town. No one's going to hire you for jobs when you have the reputation of being Loxus, that guy who blew up a town full of innocent people. Oh, and then get this, in the final battle he casts Fairy Law, the broken spell that defeated Jose in the Phantom Lord arc, and targets the entire town, again intending to kill everyone. And then it fails because, in his heart, he still sees everyone as his comrades. I don't believe that for a fucking second. Did you miss everything else he did up to this point? Say he was bluffing all you like, but he was ready to pack in an entire town. He told his minions to kill people and tried to kill Natsu multiple times during their fight. And what happens after? Oh, he gets expelled from Fairy Tail, he cries of it because he regrets his actions? Nah. Send him straight into Fairy Jail. 100 years in a prison cell, with your only company being Ichiya saying "man" 24/7. That'll sort you right out. If anything, this is a testament to Fairy Tail's ability to redeem its villains, because Loxus in the modern arcs, he's a top guy and one of my favorite characters, 10 out of 10, but he is such a hateable prick during this arc that I really got fired up wanting to see him lose. When this show is good, it's really good. So yeah, Loxus makes for a compelling villain, just purely based on the fact that he's a douchebag. He also gives us some good fights. The fight between him and Natsu and Gargiel is one of the best in the series even today, as he backs up all of his shit talk with legitimate power and skill. It's refreshing to see a villain hyped up and then for them to actually live up to said hype, something that early Fairy Tail does very well, and later Fairy Tail does not at all. Granted, the way Natsu wins is a bit weird given he just does every super move he has all in a row and wins because Loxus is tired, ignoring the fact that Natsu is in much worse condition than he is, but whatever, this is early in Fairy Tail, I can bypass this for now. The rest of the Thunder Legion is whatever. They're just as guilty as Loxus and are only following him because of their loyalty to him. Evergreen is shallow and petty, but she's dangerous, and seeing Urza punch her in the face was cool.
If you're going to bluff, then do it right.
Freed is the typical, I'm a merciless monster and I will gladly force my guild members to fight to the point of injury, and if that fails, I will kill them myself. But then once he loses, he goes, no, I didn't want to actually do any of this, oh, woe is me. I get that he's gay for Loxus, but still, bit late for remorse when you already ruined most of your guild, idiot. You literally cast the killing spell on Elfman before you got stopped. Don't try to play me. Speaking of Freed, we get to see Mira Jane fight again for the first time in the series. Her magic that had been sealed off for years comes out, and turns out that like her brother, she knows takeover magic. But instead of beasts, it's for demons. That's pretty middle, and seeing her curb stomp freed was great. Granted, we knew Mirror Chain being relevant was coming because they put it in the damn opening, but that's just a fairy tale staple. Oh yeah, Pixlo. Moving on. Mystigan showed up in this arc, and his fight with Loxus was such a letdown. They traded like 3 spells, and then he got unmasked, and then he left. But hey, that's a big twist. He looks exactly like Jalal. Who's Jalal? Well, that's a funny thing, because I've not had to mention him once in any of the arcs we've covered so far in the series. But moving forward, I won't be able to shut up about him. Get used to it now. Let's see, other talking points. Grey is basically useless this whole arc, a shame as Natsu and Guardian were sidelined, giving him what should have been a moment to shine. Lucy gets a legitimate win with her new celestial spirit Leo, and she rallies the entire guild behind her in their moment of arguing. Urza also uses unlimited blade works. Well, unlimited. She hits her cap at the measly number of 200 simultaneous swords. What an absolute queen. Gilgamesh could have still done it better though. Final point. During this arc, Makarov almost dies. And I don't care. Like, I guess he starts dying from stress as Loxus does his plan, and Loxus himself doesn't even care when he hears about it, because I guess he knows as well as I do that any Makarov death in this series will be a fake out at best, or undone at worst. You'll see what I mean later on. Regardless, this arc was a pretty cool way to end season 1 of the anime, seeing as they didn't know if they'd be continuing the show after this, which is one of the reasons why they never mentioned guild arts in an arc about who's the strongest member in Fairy Tail, unlike what they did in the manga. The guild gets fractured and made to fight each other, then it's brought back together in a display of unity, showcasing the true spirit of Fairy Tail and the power of friendship. Huh, that was an oddly poetic ending, and I didn't have any major complaints about this arc. Huh. You know, when I started this ranking series in 2020, I never thought I'd get this far in terms of being able to be positive. So, because double features are how I'm doing this series from now on, let's have a look at number 9 as well. In my opinion, the 9th best arc in Fairy Tail is the Edolas arc. Why do I feel like this pick might be controversial? Edolas starts off strong, with the return of Guildarts, the strongest member of Fairy Tail, and he's immediately great. Better yet, he brings with him foreshadowing of a dragon out there in the world, one that will become very relevant soon. This is fantastic, even if Natsu doesn't take the warning seriously at the time. Then the entire guild gets taken out all at once. Yeah, the whole city that they're in, Magnolia, just vanishes in one burst of mysterious magic. Holy shit, that's a strong setup for an arc. The apparent sole survivors, Wendy, Natsu, and their exceeds Happy and Kala, travel through a big sky portal to Edolas, a parallel dimension to their native Earthland. The adventure takes place here, and it's not the adventure I remember the most fondly whenever I want to go back and watch some prime Fairy Tail. Look, this is a long arc, so let me break it down for you. The gimmick of Edolas is that there's no magic power in this world, meaning the heroes can't use any of their magic. What problems will this present for them? How will they survive in a world where they've been robbed of their spells and powers? What creative solutions will they have to overcome the challenges that lie ahead? Well, turns out the solution is just Mystigan showing up at one point and giving them magic X-balls to eat that give them full access to their magic anyway. It's hilarious how the author wrote them into this genuinely troublesome situation, and then apparently couldn't figure out how to keep writing them under those conditions and just said, fuck it, have your magic back. Hey, I'm not making fun, I genuinely respect it. I wouldn't want to have to handle this situation either. Plus, this means we get to have the fun dynamic of characters with powerful magic fighting against characters with powerful magical items. Urza vs Urza is a fantastic example of this, with Edolas Urza having a dangerous magical spear, and regular Urza having a large collection of magical armor and sword. Okay, maybe this isn't the best example of magic versus magic items in the series, but it is the second best fight in the arc, so you get my point. Oh yeah, Urza, Nightwalker, is the alternate version of Urza Scarlet from Earthland, because everyone in Earthland has a counterpart in Edolas. She's evil. Probably the coolest Edolas character, aside from Edolas Gargiel and Mystigan himself. So, if everyone has counterparts, and Urza has a counterpart, that means that there's an Edolas version of Fairy Tail, right? Yep, here they are. Moving on. What? You wanted me to say more? I'll be honest, I was never head over heels for this lot. Okay, cool, they're mirror versions of the Fairy Tail we know. Grey is a simp for Juvia this time, Natsu is terrified whenever he's not in a vehicle, Lucy is strong and brash, Elfman is a chill guy, Mirror Jane is exactly the same. Like, they're not revolutionary characters with tons of new depth to them, they're just personality flips of the fairy tale we already had. They don't even have any new bonds, all the couples are the same. Look, they're fine, they play a role in the story and it's nice when they show up, but I don't love them as characters. You aren't going to turn on my neurons by showing me a picture of this lot. So the basic plot we're following is that the king of Edolas, Faust, has turned the Fairy Tale Guild and Magnolia into one big magic lacrima so they can sacrifice it to generate magic power for themselves. The good mages infiltrate the royal city, alongside Lucy, who also survived the anima, and then everyone gets captured because apparently the Exceeds, you know, the flying cats, were supposed to lead the Dragon Slayers into Edolas to the city to be captured, meaning that they were destined to betray their friends all along, through a subconscious mission implanted in their memories. Wow. I never thought I'd be emotionally invested in the stories of the cats. The Exceeds are the supreme rulers of the land of Edolas, all-powerful and all-knowing, able to select and choose who dies in this world. Right up until Faust decides to just turn them all into magic crystals as well, and does so fairly easily. It turns out that not only were the Exceeds just pretending to be all-powerful, and that they can just predict deaths rather than cause them, but the Dragon Slayer capture mission was all made up from the start, and Happy and Carla were never traitors. Fairy Tail really loves a good 180, don't they? Grey and Urza then get freed because of Gargiel, who, because he's a Dragon Slayer, survived and got to Edolas, now fully equipped with all of their magic. Natsu and Wendy get their magic back, and there are a ton of fights.
Oh, look at all the action! Oh, there's so much action! Oh, look at that action! Oh.
I'll be honest, none of these fights are memorable to me at all, aside from Urza vs Urza and the final battle in this arc, but I'm sure they were fun enough to watch when I first saw the show. I mean, they're not bad fights, but I don't actively go back to relive them, they just weren't compelling to me in that way. If I had to pick a favourite outside of the two I just mentioned, it's Gargiel vs Pantalily, because Pantalily is easily the best Exceed in the series, and Gargiel is very determined to get his animal companion. Like, this is a hilarious threat.
But I'm still making you my cat!
The final battle is a pretty epic spectacle though, as the king plans to crash the giant Magnolia Lacrima into the homeland of the Exceeds in order to give Edolas infinite magic power, and obviously that's not a very nice thing to do. When he starts losing and Mystigan manages to send the Lacrima back into Earthland, he breaks out the Dorma Arnim, a giant dragon mecha that is immune to all magic. Immune to all magic. Where have I seen this before in this ranking series?
What? All manners of magic are ineffective against them.
Wait, I thought the old guy could neutralize magic.
So did I.
And I wonder, will we end up seeing this again? And why do I feel like this immune to magic being is going to end up being not so immune to magic? And come to think of it, I swear that both in the show and this ranking series, we've seen a giant dragon robot before. Nope, fuck off. I've gone this entire series without bringing you up again, and it shall continue long into the future. The Dorma Arnim takes out Mystigan, or at least he allows himself to lose, because God forbid we actually get to see him in a fight for more than 3 seconds at a time, and heavens forbid that we get to hear his badass theme for more than a few moments. So, the Dragon Slayers step up to fight the robot instead, and they do, and they're losing, but then they win. Again, I can't help but get a feeling of this scenario of magic beating the immune to magic dragon thing is going to repeat itself later on in the show. Oh yeah, and after some fisticuffs, Urza talks Urza into just giving up. Why do they even bother fighting when Urza can just roll a nat 20 on a persuasion check and give a friendship lecture to any of her enemies? Oh, and ignore the fact that they're both very scantily dressed.
We must stay focused, brothers.
The ending twist with Mystigan sending all magic power in the world away to Earthland so no one in Edolas will be tempted by it again is genuinely very cool, and his final fight with Natsu is genuinely one of my favourite moments in early Fairy Tail, one of the most memorable in the entire arc. This case of the magic goes away is genuinely an ending for Edolas that I like, and as we see in the epilogue for the anime and the 100-year quest, they're doing just fine for themselves. So why did I review Edolas as more of a recap than a normal ranking entry? Because I really don't have much to say on individual talking points. It's like Sun Village except generally better. There are a few things to praise highly, a few things to complain about, but generally it's just a level state of decent, with the second half of the arc admittedly spiking in quality, and staying up there the whole way. The first half of this arc drags too much for my liking, with the lack of magic, the wandering around, the focus on alternate fairy tale, but the second half is a very good extended climax, around the time that Rock City Boy takes over as the OP. back-to-back battles with magic against magic items, actually compelling plot twists, a villain you can take seriously. It's a slow arc with a very good ending, so just power through it and you'll enjoy the rewards of your patience. Unless you end up liking the alternate fairy tale much more than I did, in which case you'll probably love this arc from start to finish. The final boss fight against the Dorma Arnim is a visual spectacle, and it is a compelling final threat, but the fact that they can just overpower the anti-magic armor with more magic, after the damn thing entered its stronger second phase by the way, does feel a bit like bullshit to me. But at the end of the day, they're dragon slayers fighting a dragon-themed robot. Their magic being the exception to the rule is fine with me. It's hardly the worst cop-out we've seen in the series so far, and it's hardly the worst we'll see moving forward. Oh yeah, Lizana's alive, and she comes back to Earthland at the end of the arc. Who cares? Okay, let me explain. I'm happy Lizana is back. Her reunion with her siblings is sweet, and I'm glad she gets to be in more of the series. She's a fun recurring character. But she did not deserve the focus in the anime's opening that she got. Throughout the entire series, she's been made out to be a big deal to Natsu. He mourns her. But she does literally nothing the entire arc besides show up for the scene to show that she's alive and come back to Earthland in the ending. After the conclusion of this arc, Natsu barely even talks to her, which makes me wonder why did we spend so much time building up their dynamic in the first place. And it's a cop-out that Lizana's even alive to begin with. But again, whatever. It's not the worst cop-out we've seen so far, and it's not the worst we'll see moving forward. At the end of the day, I'm just happy to have her here, but I think there was serious missed potential involving her character. And those are the rankings. Aside from a few complaints and nitpicks, I feel this has been a fairly positive video. Like I've been saying, when Fairy Tail is good, it's very good. The last arcs remaining are all ones that I genuinely have a lot of passion for, whether it be for good or bad reasons. So, if you're still here watching this series, you can get hyped for some enthusiastic final episodes. After all, we're fast approaching the end of the series, and by that I mean it'll take a maximum of 3 more years to complete, but I do plan on speeding up production on these last few episodes. The plan right now is to do arcs 8 and 7, then 6, 5 and 4, and then 3, 2 and 1, so 3 episodes left. I'm sorry that this series has taken so long and been so inconsistent, and I'll be honest, I lost passion for this a while ago. But honestly, doing it in this designated annual format has been quite refreshing. After all, it's always nice to revisit a beloved anime after a long time away. And now they're up to the arcs that I actually like very much, I think I can muster the energy to smash these out more regularly. After all, the end is in sight, and I plan on making it a satisfying conclusion. So, do you agree with my rankings? What are your thoughts on the arcs I covered? Let me know down in the comment section below. I read every comment I get, and I respond to the vast majority. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps encourage me to make more content faster. I have a lot of videos like this one, and a lot of videos not like this one, so I'm sure you'll find something that you like. If you think that I've earned it, consider joining my Patreon for early access to videos and perhaps a little bit more. With all that said, I think we're done here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week for another video.